10 of clubs and stuff like that. Like, just a ton of combo draws. Like, I don't know, you shouldn't be afraid of much. Like, compared to, like, when I'm playing range versus range, like, I've got so many semi-bluffs in my range. Like, I'm super happy right now that I'm going to get paid off. And then he bets 5. Obviously, I'd be raising here with all my draws. I think that I definitely have the full equity necessary. And if you ever like want to go through and see how often your opponent needs to fold in order to make a semi-bluff profitable, I have an MS Excel tool called, I think it's like Poker Tool 5.0 or something like that. The download link is on the site. And if you download it, it's pretty easy. I think it's in the blog section, and it's basically just a fold equity calculator or a semi-bluffing calculator. It's got the semi-bluffing equation, and it just does all the math for you, so you don't even have to really worry about it. So I suggest downloading it, and it gives you like tools to help make it even easier to figure out how often he's folding. So I raise, he folds. I love it. I mean, not the fact that he folded, but I love my range there. Like, if he's folding there, then I love the fact that I have so many bluffs. Like, if you think about my range there, the fact that he bet folded there is just, like, awesome for me. Even though I had the nuts that time, like, I so rarely am going to have quads or a boat, like, or trips, you know what I mean? I'm just going to have so many, like, backdoor draws, semi-bluffs that I could have bluffed on the flop, but just called. Like, it's a lot of just random junk that, that I'm raising there, so... So, whenever he folds, it's just, like, great for me. Obviously not in the single hand, but, Alright, so I raise, I flop the nuts. Again, villain donks into me, steals initiative. Expected to have more spots where I was not the opener, but I guess, because I made it turn continuation bet, is how I said raise, turn continuation bet on my filter. So I expected to be, the pre-flop caller, but, I guess people are just playing really weird. So same situation as before, I get dunked into on an A6X board. I'd be floating here. I think the issue here is like my range is really strong. I don't really have any bluffs. I wouldn't be floating very light here. I don't know. I guess I just called to protect like kings, queens, jacks, and stuff like that. Like all the hands that basically are an ace-X don't want to see a lot of bets come. So when I have pocket 3s and pocket 5s, I like just calling, and then raising the turn, so that, if he's gonna like donk into me with like air, trying to make me fold, like representing ace-X, I'm gonna be able to fight back on occasion, so I like that. I raise the turn, obviously, and stack him. Don't know what that is. Alright, alright, this is great. I flopped an open-ended straight draw. Sorry about that. Another error. I don't know what's going on, but we're back, and flopped an open-ended straight draw. Just called. I don't mind it. I'm not raising like anything for value here, so... I just called king, I just call with sets and stuff, so there's like very few draws, so I love it. I'd just call. So now on the turn, I'd be raising all my value hands, so I should have some semi-bluffs in my range. So I'm going to have backdoor spades on occasion. 5-6 is obviously one of the best draws in my range. So I think I have like an identical board later where it came out exactly the same, but I actually had king-queen and I raised, or, maybe it was queen high and then a jack came on the turn and I had top 2 either way. So, I'm raising here with king-queen, I'm raising here with all the sets that I flopped, and then I'm raising with semi-bluffs pretty much. So he bets, and I raise, and he folds. It's great. And I like to keep my sizing somewhere around the same amount that I do my value for, so whatever I just basically pretend I have the opposite hand that I have. And do what I want to do. Alright, so same situation, or similar situation. I love this, having a straight draw on a 2 flush board against an opponent who probably isn't going to have as many flush draws as me. Like, because I can represent when a flush comes and it's obvious. But like when I actually make my straight, like if a 6 comes, it's not as obvious. Like people will pay you off when you actually make your straight and then fold when it looks like you made a flush, because people just like forget that about straight draws,
Sometimes like straight draws are just like way better than flushes or flush draws. Despite the fact that we lose a lot of equity because if he has a flush draw, we're like crushed. But that said, I don't think this was a call pre-flop. I think I already made a mistake. He's only 50 big blinds deep. I don't know. So I just call. I like it, I guess. I'd be raising all my flush draws. That's the cool thing. So I don't really mind just calling with the club draw, or with the straight draw, because I'd be raising all my clubs. And then I can just call and then raise the turn, and then balance, that range. My turn raising range, I guess. I don't know if it exists. Like, I guess backdoor 2-pair is what I'm balancing here. And then, obviously backdoor sets, I guess. And then, like, if a club rolls off, I'm raising, and I'm representing a flush, and I love it. Even though I can't possibly have a flush because I would raise it on the flop. People just don't know that enough about your game. It's just another little secret. You can rep the flush, which was slow played. The flush draw, like, just called on the flop. Maybe I have the ace high flush or something in this range. I don't know. It's close. Then he bets a quarter pot, and again, I represent the flush. Oh, he calls. And I have, backdoor equity with this. Still have the straight draw. I have a pair. I just have a lot of equity, and then break out on the river, but it's just like a great river to bluff. Like, I love it. He's going to have some... Like, I love a Nash overbet here because I'm raising mostly with 2-pair plus, and then, like, the occasional straight draw with an 8 especially. Like, this is great. Like, I love how balanced my range is here, and I think I should be betting $42 every time. He's not going to be able to play correctly. I think he's got a bluff catcher and, like, just ace high. He's just not going to be able to find a way to play against range. I value bet, though. I don't like it. I think it was definitely $42. I think that was a mistake. Oh well. I don't know that I knew about the river Nash overbet anyway at that point. So. Alright, so heads up hand. Flop bottom pair. Oh wow. Flop monster draw. Should be going crazy. He bets and I just call. I don't know. I'm a terrible player. That makes no sense whatsoever. I should almost certainly be raising. But maybe I just have aspirations of raising the turn. And then I turn like 2-pair. Alright, that's great. Obviously I'm raising. I love my hand. I have the nut flush draw. I have a 2-pair. I mean, just golden. He bets. I'd be raising here with all my flush draws. I think I'd probably just raise the flop with all my flush draws now and all my 2-pair plus. And then the occasional, like, big, just ace-x if he's going to donk that light. When I raise, he calls. River the rowboat. Alright, that was a stupid hand. Alright, open in the cutoff with queen-jack offsuit. Flatted. Checks. I check behind. I don't mind it. I mean, it depends. I think if he's going to semi-bluff a lot with, like, queen-jack, queen-10, and then fold like everything else. I don't know. I don't think people are peeling all that light here. He's going to have better jack-x. On occasion, he's going to call with worse jack-x. Maybe 10-jack or something like that. Like, I think ace-jack might be the worst hand that I would value bet here, probably. It's pretty close. So I check back, turn trips. And now the interesting thing here is, like, I backdoored into, one of those big hands, and this was the spot where, I would probably raise all my clubs. I probably would have bet queen 10, but like backdoor clubs and backdoor jack X are pretty much, going to happen a similar frequency, so I can raise both and be pretty happy.